Hi, Anna.
Hi, Alison.
Hi,
How have you
Anna.
been? Hi, can you
How-
hear me?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm sorry for yesterday.
Oh, what for? You're
Uh,
fine.
all right.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Hi, Ksenia.
Hello. Hi, Ksenia.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Very well, thank you. My name is Allison. Again, I know we've met, I think, once before. But
Yeah.
remind me where you are from, Ksenia?
I'm from Russia.
Russia. Okay, cool. How are your Sundays going so far?
Nowadays we have summer, so it's very hot, and I like it.
Nice, nice, cool. What about you, Anna?
Um, it's sunny.
Yeah, have you done anything with your day yet, or just kind of waking up and relaxing today?
I'm just relaxing today, so far. But I will do something fun later.
Nice, nice. Hi, Ming. Hi, Ming, can you hear us?
Yeah, hi,
Hi, how are you?
doing fine. What about yourself?
Very well, thank you. What are you up to on this Sunday afternoon, morning, depending on where you are?
Um, I probably have to work a little bit this afternoon.
Okay, all right. Well, I hope you have a relaxing day before you have to work. Hi, welcome. Let's see, Josu, is that how you pronounce your name? Hello, Josu. Oh, okay. I don't know. I will write in the chat and see if you are there, if you can hear me. Um, but please speak up if you can hear me. If not, please write in the chat and respond. I don't know. Okay, there must be some sort of connection. Hopefully, it will figure itself out. But welcome to today's class, guys. Do you know what this class is about?
About marathon in Boston?
Yeah, it's about the Boston Marathon. So I had originally had this class planned a little bit closer to the date of the marathon, but it hasn't been too long, hasn't been a month yet. So have you all, oh, hi, Josu, can you hear me? Can you talk so we can hear you? Oh, okay, I guess not. I will write in the chat. Can you speak into your microphone so we can hear you? Okay, well, if you can hear me, please speak. Oh, just listen. Okay, that's fine. This class is heavily based on the communication of the students. So if you can unmute your microphone and participate, that would be excellent. If not, okay, you can stay and listen. Awesome. Okay, so marathons. Has anyone ever run a marathon before? Okay, that's okay. Has anyone ever seen a marathon before?
Yes, I seen in Berlin half year ago. I think it was marathon.
Okay, very cool. Or a half marathon, anything like that?
No.
Have you guys seen a race before?
I've
Just
seen a half marathon in Rio de Janeiro once.
Oh, very cool. And what was the general energy of the race? Was it fun to watch, or was everyone excited, or was it kind of boring? What was it like?
No, it wasn't boring at all. It was fun. Uh, and, well, people were helping the runners, throwing stuff.
Very cool. Yeah, so the high energy, that's cool. What about you, Ksenia? Have you what did you think about the marathon race that you saw?
I think it's incredible because it's a lot of energy must have a runner, and it's very difficult. And they run in, and I can saw that it's very difficult to run, and they're so tired. But the people who just walked, they started to yelling to cheered up them, and so they smiled and. They maybe run, how to say,
Nice.
faster
They
because of
Yeah,
us.
they helped them run faster. Yeah, definitely. So there's that.
Yes, it's cool.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I think they're really, really cool to watch. They're cool to run if you have the energy. But definitely awesome just to be a fan there because you can, um, like you said, you can help the runner's energy and make them run faster and help them to the finish line. So that's really cool. Ming, have you ever seen a race before? Not a marathon, just any maybe running race?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
think I
What,
have.
what, where?
Uh, in on TV.
Oh, on TV. Cool. So you can even see it from TV, like the energy that the fans have and the energy that the runners have. It's pretty, pretty cool. But today I wanted to talk about the Boston Marathon so we could practice our listening skills, but also talk about something that is really exciting for me because I went to school in Boston and lived there for 3 years. So I absolutely loved watching the Boston Marathon and rooting on the fans. Everyone's full of energy. You have young people, old people running, like really fast runners or really slow, inexperienced runners, but everyone is just doing it together and supporting each other. And all the fans are crazy. They're putting their hands out so you can slap them five when you run by them. It's very cool. So the energy is it's what kind of helps people to the finish line is all the fans kind of rooting them on, and the whole city is supporting these awesome runners. So it's pretty cool. Not to mention all the money that is raised for charities during these races is pretty phenomenal. Um, Hi, Josu. Is your connection better? Okay, well, if you can write in the chat, that would be awesome. All right, let me share my PowerPoint with you guys so we can get started talking about this. Just let me know when you can actually see the PowerPoint.
I can see now.
Awesome. Okay, so Ming, what does this say? Could you please read?
Boston Marathon survivor runs again.
Awesome. And Anna, what does that blue and yellow sign say?
Boston is strong.
Cool. So does anyone know what this sign represents? Any ideas? All right, that's okay. We can talk about it. Has anyone heard of the Boston Marathon bombing? Awesome. Well, we're going to talk about it today. Ksenia, you're welcome to speak aloud too. You guys, let's keep the energy up by our participating verbally. Okay? So it's okay if you are a little nervous and want to just write in the chat, but I welcome you to participate verbally so we can all hear what each other has to say. So, I see in the chat that a lot of people have said no. That's what we're going to talk about today. So, 1 year in the Boston Marathon, not too long ago, there was a marathon bombing. So there was a kind of terrorist attack on the runners and the fans, and many people lost limbs, many people died, and many people were very, very hurt. And it didn't allow everyone to finish the marathon because of this happening. And they bombed, two brothers bombed the finish line. And after a while, people were very sad. But after a while, people kind of grew together, and this notion, like this sign you see here, Boston Strong, Boston and a lot of the United States came together to raise money for these people who had lost their arms and legs, or people who had been hurt, or people that had died. And raised money, and also came together just to be strong together and support each other. So this says Boston Marathon survivor runs again. So this is about a woman who survived the bombing and runs again. So she runs despite the fact that she is missing one of her limbs. Okay? So this is actually a really strong story. And I ask you to be respectful during this time, and also really open to it. Yeah, it is. Ming, feel free to share your thoughts aloud so we can talk about it. What did you read? What you typed?
It's sad that she lost her leg, one of her limbs.
Yeah, it's really sad, especially because a lot of these people were not even running. They were just sitting watching, right? So no one expected it, and it is a really, really sad thing on a day where people are really, really happy. It was really scary. And I was in Boston at the time, luckily nowhere near the finish line, but thank goodness none of my friends were there at the time. They were farther away, but not too far. It all happened so fast. So we're going to listen to a story about it, but first, we kind of talked about this already. So let's move on to the listening. Okay. So first I ask that you just listen. Try to pay attention to what the speakers are saying and try to comprehend what they're saying. So not just knowing the words, but understanding the point of the story and the feelings they're trying to get across to the listener. Okay. All right, everybody ready to listen?
Yes.
Okay, here it goes. Oh. All right, I don't know why it's not playing, but it should play in a minute. Here we go.
Will run her first marathon on Monday. 2 years ago, while watching the Boston Marathon, she was among the hundreds injured in the bombing. Recently, she met her friend Walter Dunbar for a training run at Marathon Sports on Boylston Street, near the finish line where the first bomb went off. He was the EMT who treated her that day.
I was in front of that line right after, and then subsequently I was at the counter. I somehow got in here, collapsed by the counter, had 3 people help me until they took me to the medical tent. And once I was in the medical tent, I had multiple people working on me, including Walter. I think Walter tagged my arm too for the hospital. And
yeah, I bandaged you up, triage tag,
I
kept talking to you, kept coming back to you. We had a really long conversation that you don't remember anything about, but I remember how strong you were then. to see you run the marathon now, I'm in awe.
Walter said that I was one of the calmest people in the tent, and I'm like, I don't remember, but just that you I was and I guess he's keeping me awake and talking to me, and which is good. And yeah, we've become friends.
We're both running in Boston this year, so it's just amazing. Last year was my first year. It's only grown in proportion. It doesn't get less because it's 2 years later. It just keeps growing and getting better.
I've never run. I was always on the sidelines having a cocktail and hanging out with my friends, and I would always joke it's something I would never ever do. And last year we were offered bibs, and I was still going through surgeries, so I couldn't have, and I thought, well, it's not for me anyway. And then at the end of 2014, we got an email saying that we were going to be offered bibs again, and I was worried about my leg, and the more I started running, the more I was like, wow, maybe I can do this. Like, now I'm up to 5 miles, and 6 miles. And for me, I kind of wanted to do something I never would have done before being injured. And this is something I definitely never done. So I think symbolically, for me, it's important. I went through over a half dozen surgeries, and when I think about that and then look down at my legs running, it's powerful. And it's not the best runner, I'm not the strongest runner, but I just want to cross that finish line because also I'm an American, and I'll be damned if I'm going to be knocked down and not get back up.
You like a standing ovation for that.
I mean, I'm not the only one. You know, you're doing it. Our group is doing it. It just feels powerful. I know that when I come down Boylston Street, I may pass the spot where I was hurt, but all my loved ones are going to be standing there. And so that will get me down the street. And I'll be smiling and crying all at the same time, and then I'll probably want to be here after.
She didn't do that. She sent me a picture of her on the treadmill and told me that she was training to run. And I had tears of joy to see people that at the time, you know, we didn't know they were going to survive. To meet up with them looking clean, beautiful, and healthy, watch them recover, watch them start to be able to walk, and now do the Boston Marathon. Same event that could have cleaned their life instead of claiming it, she's going to conquer it. It's just amazing.
That was Michelle LaRue and Walter Dunbar, who are both running in the Boston Marathon tomorrow. The conversation was produced by Craig Remote at WGBH Radio.
Okay. What did you guys think of that?
Just a cog in
Oh,
motion.
hold on, let me
Bottom
stop
rung of
this.
society breaks out of the role society has assigned her and rises to the top. This
What did you guys think of that?
Michelle.
For me, it was very difficult to hear because of noise from the road, and I understand and half of this conversation.
Okay. Did you understand any of it?
I'm sorry?
Did you understand any of it or any of the message in the clip?
In the club?
Were you able to understand any of it, or none of it was you were able to hear?
Half of conversation.
Half. Okay, that's good. So what did you think? What did you think of it? Or what did you get from it?
I think it's a story of woman and man. I think it was two of them. Or who is man? Or it was a journalist. I couldn't understand.
Okay. Okay, we'll definitely listen to it again. What about you, Anna and Ming? What do you have to say about the listening?
There was a lot of. Go ahead.
Anna, go ahead.
I couldn't understand because there is a noise in the background, a kind of blowing. Um, I just heard that she was sitting watching, I guess, and I'm not sure, but I guess
Okay.
she was just watching when she lost her leg.
Oh. Uh-oh, where did that music come from? Is that me? Ming, do you want to share what you thought about the listening?
Yeah, there was a lot of background noise, so it was kind of hard to hear. But
Oh,
I,
okay.
what I,
I don't
what
know
I
what the...
heard, what
Uh-huh.
I heard was, I think this woman named Michelle. She ran in last year's marathon with his friend, who, who's a man,
Mm-hmm.
but she lost one of her limbs. I thought they said she lost one of her arms. Looks like from the picture she lost one of her legs.
This
Uh,
is actually a different runner because I couldn't find one of Michelle. But
oh,
this is actually, thank you for noticing it. This is actually a picture of a different survivor, who is running the Boston Marathon. And as you can see, yeah, she has lost the bottom half of her left leg due to the bombing. But it did not stop her from running. And you can see on her shirt, I think it says Rebecca Strong. So that Boston Strong motto is very popular, especially after the marathon. And so a lot of people have taken it for themselves, Rebecca Strong, right? So running for Boston, pretty cool. I'm not sure, do you guys still hear the background noise? I'm not sure what that is exactly because I don't have any other music or anything playing.
It
Do you?
it was noise from road while woman speaking. It was in audio.
Oh, it was in the audio. Okay.
Yes.
I see. Okay, well, I guess playing it again will help, but it will still have that background noise. So I'll try and stop it so that you uh, can understand it a little bit better. We can play it again and again until you can really hear what she's saying. I didn't really hear the background noise too much on mine, so maybe it's just when it's coming through to your computer, but I'll try and listen for it. But maybe there were cars in the background or something in the audio. I don't know. But we can try it again. But yes, you guys are exactly right. So it's about this woman, and we heard a man's voice too. His name was Walter. And did anyone hear what Walter said at all?
I think he took her. He bandaged Michelle up after the incident, like right after the
Good.
incident, and then he
Yeah.
took her to the hospital.
Excellent. Yeah, so Walter was the one that helped bandage her up when she was wounded, when she was hurt at the time of the bombing. So we're in 2015 right now. Does anyone know when the bombing occurred? In what year?
About 1 year
13.
ago.
Almost 2 years ago. So
2 years ago.
2013. Yeah, almost. Good guess. Yeah. So last year was the first year that survivors could run, but a lot of them were still very, very injured and still going through all those surgeries. So this year, the second year after the bombing, there were a lot more injured runners running. Okay, so before we listen again, I want to go over a little bit of the vocabulary so that when you do hear it, it's not so unfamiliar. Does anyone know what subsequently means? Subsequently.
I guess it means if after after afterwards after something.
Yeah, good, good, excellent. I hear the piano. It's beautiful. Is someone playing piano right now?
I guess.
It's nice. Okay. Yes, you're exactly right. So let's go to the vocabulary. Thanks for starting us off. Ming, could you please read subsequently?
Subsequently, after a particular thing has happened. Afterward.
Good. So exactly what Anna said. Ksenia, could you practice pronunciation subsequently?
Subsequently.
Perfect. All right. Next word. Let's see. Anna, could you read the next word?
Yes, but I don't know how to pronounce it.
That's okay. Just do your best, and I will correct you if it's wrong.
Triage?
Good. Perfect.
Okay. In medical use, the assignment of degrees of urgency to wounds or illnesses to decide the order of treatment of a large number of patients or casualties. Casualties.
Good. Yeah. The pronunciation, casualties.
Casualties.
Perfect. Ming, casualties.
Casualties.
Good. Yeah. Ksenia, casualties.
Casualties.
Perfect. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's exactly right. So, Walter, the man in the listening, was the one who helped her in triage. So this is the person, as it says here, decides the order of treatment of the patients or the people who are wounded. And this is usually, in medical terms, very urgent. So people in the Boston Marathon who had lost some of their limbs, they were all in the triage unit. Okay? Questions on that before we go to the next one? All right, well, if you have questions, just shout them out. Ksenia, could you read the last one?
In awe. An overwhelming
Good.
feeling of respect or admiration produced by that which is grand, sublime, extremely powerful.
Good. So, yeah, so if, for example, I was in awe when I saw the Eiffel Tower. I was just in shock and in awe because it was so beautiful, for example. Okay? Questions on this one before we move on? All right, let's keep going. All right, Ming, the next one?
Bibs.
Mm-hmm.
Paper number you attach to your body when you are in race.
Yeah, so of course there's different kinds of bibs, right? We have baby bibs for when babies are eating. We put a bib around them so they don't spill on their clothes. But in the case of running races and marathons, the bib is what you attach to yourself so we know your number. So as you can see on the right, we have a picture of a bib. Looks like a woman named Kelly bib. All right. Anna, could you read the next one?
Okay. Standing ovation, a form of applause where members of a seated audience stand up while applauding after extraordinary performances.
Thank you. Great reading. So we have a picture right here underneath the bib. This is a standing ovation. Have you guys heard this word before?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very common in shows like this. As you can see, it's in a theater or some sort of venue for musical performances or acting performances. The whole audience stands up because they're actually in awe or they loved the performance. Okay, and the last one, Ksenia, could you read?
Conquer. Successfully overcome a problem of weakness.
Good. So in this case, what is Michelle conquering? What do you guys think?
Because she have a problem with her leg. By the way, she wants to go on and run.
Good, yeah. So she's overcoming the fact that she's lost her leg. She's conquering her fears. She's conquering the marathon. She's overcoming a lot in this on the day of the Boston Marathon. Lots of emotions, I'm sure. Probably overcoming and conquering not just fear, but also the emotion of sadness that that day probably brought for her. So pretty cool story. All right, questions on this before we move on? All right, let's keep going. Okay, let's listen again. Let's try and understand it a bit. And please say stop if you are having trouble understanding so we can go back, okay? All right, you guys ready to listen again?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, here it comes.
LaRue will run her first marathon on Monday. 2 years ago, while watching the Boston Marathon, she was among the hundreds injured in the bombing. Recently, she met her friend Walter Dunbar for a training run at Marathon Sports on Boylston Street, near the finish line where the first bomb went off. He was the EMT who treated her that day.
I was in front of that lamppost right out there. And then subsequently, I was laying by the counter over there. I somehow got in here, collapsed by the counter, had 3 people help me until they took me to the medical tent. And once I was in the medical tent, I had multiple people working on me, including Walter. I think Walter tagged my arm, too, for the hospital. And
Yeah, I bandaged you up,
bandaged me,
triage tag,
kept asking
kept
my
talking to you,
name.
kept coming back to you. We had a really long conversation that you don't remember anything about, but I remember how strong you were then. And to see you run the marathon now, I'm in awe.
Did you guys hear that?
Yes, much better.
Okay, great. I'm glad that it's a little bit better. So we heard Walter say, I was in awe. What was he in awe about?
That Michelle had the courage to get over her sadness of losing her
Yeah.
arm.
Yeah, he was in awe when he saw her strength when she ran the marathon. Pretty cool. All right, let's keep going.
Walter said that I was one of the calmest people in the tent, and I'm like, I don't remember, but that's good to know that I was calm, and I guess he was keeping me awake and talking to me, and which is good. And yeah, we've become friends.
We're both running Boston this year, so it's just amazing. Last year was my first year. It's only grown in proportion. It doesn't get less because it's 2 years later. It's actually, it just keeps growing and getting better.
I've never run. I was always on the sidelines having a cocktail and hanging out with my friends, and I would always joke it's something I would never ever do. And last year we were offered bibs, and I was still going through surgeries, so I couldn't have, and I thought, well, it's not for me anyway. And then
So we heard a little bit more about Michelle. So why did she not run when she was offered a bib last year? Why did she decide not to run last year?
Because she was going through a lot of surgeries.
Excellent. Yeah, so she had just been hurt the year before, and even a year later was still going through all of these surgeries. So she's had along with all the other injured people from the marathon, a lot of surgeries to go through and a lot of courage needed to kind of get through this day, right? So she got hurt, but it wasn't, solved overnight. It was almost a year before she was able to be out of a hospital. So that took a lot of strength too, right? So she decided not to run last year because she was still hurt, but decided to run this year. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's keep listening.
at the end of 2014, we got an email saying that we were going to be offered bibs again, and I was worried about my leg. And the more I started running, the more I was like, wow, maybe I can do this. Like, now I'm up to 5 miles, and now I'm up to 6 miles, and For me, I kind of wanted to do something I never would have done before being injured, and this is something I definitely never would have done. So I think symbolically for me it's important. I went through over a half dozen surgeries, and when I think about that and then look down at my legs running, it's powerful, and it's
Did you guys hear that? How many surgeries did she go through?
6.
What are the exact words she says?
Half dozen.
Good. She does say half dozen. Did anyone hear anything else? Good. Yeah, so she does say half dozen, which is 6, but she says over a half dozen. So she's gone more than 6 surgeries in just the last year. So she's been through quite a lot. All right, let's keep going.
not the best runner, not the strongest runner, but I just want to cross that finish line because also I'm an American, and I'll be damned if I'm going to be knocked down and not get back up.
I want to give like a standing ovation for that.
I mean, I'm not the only one.
What does Walter say she needs a standing ovation for?
Getting back up.
Yeah, just for her line that she says there, she says, I'll be damned if I'm not going to get back up, right? So once you get kicked to your feet, you get right back up, and that's kind of a metaphor for just showing that mental and emotional strength. All right, let's keep going.
And, you know, you're doing it. Our group is doing it. It just feels powerful. I know that when I come down Boylston Street, I may pass the spot where I was hurt, but all my loved ones are going to be standing there, and so that'll get me down the street. I know I'll be smiling and crying all at the same time, and then I'll probably want a beer after.
She didn't say that. She sent me a picture of her on the treadmill and told me that she was training to run, and I had tears of joy to see people that at the time, you know, we didn't know they were going to survive. Meet up with them looking clean, beautiful, and healthy. Watch them recover. Watch them start to be able to walk, and now do the Boston Marathon, the same event that could have claimed her life. Instead of claiming it, she's going to conquer it. It's just amazing.
That was Michelle LaRue and Walter Dunbar, who are both running in the Boston Marathon tomorrow. Their conversation was produced by Craig Lamolt at WGBH Radio.
Okay, so was that better this round to hear it?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so let's look at some of the comprehension questions I have here. Ming, could you please read the first one?
Who is Walter?
All right, so what do you think, Ming? Who is Walter? We talked about him a little bit. Could you kind of expand on your answer?
I think he's just a fellow marathon runner who's running with Michelle at the time. So when the accident happened, he was the first one to help Michelle to bandage her up, and
Good, yeah. Were they
then,
friends?
no, but they have since become friends.
Yeah, good. So they didn't even know each other, but have since become friends. Excellent job, Ming. Cool. So we hear Walter and Michelle's voice on there. Anna, could you please read the next one?
Oh, what happened when she was at the hospital?
Good. What do you think?
Oh my gosh. There were a lot of people trying to help her. Walter did something to her arm.
Yeah, Walter was the one who bandaged her up.
What?
Walter was the one who bandaged her wound.
Yes.
Yeah, excellent. Good, yeah, and he talked a little bit about that day and how she doesn't remember any of it, right? Because she was probably unconscious when this happened, but was she, what did Walter say? Was she very anxious and nervous, or was she very calm?
She was calm.
Yeah, we hear him say, surprisingly, you don't remember, but you were one of the calmest people in the hospital. And she said she laughs because she doesn't even remember, right? Awesome. Okay, Ming, could you please read the next one?
What is she doing now? Why?
Okay, what do you think?
I think she is still going through surgery. But otherwise, she's leading a normal life, and she's running the marathon in the marathon again.
Good. Yeah, you're exactly right. She is doing really well, and overcoming so many obstacles, and she was able to run in the Boston Marathon this past year, just in April, so less than a month ago. So that is pretty cool. Um, and why did she decide to run the marathon, you guys? What do you think? What does she say?
Because she wants to be like a positive role model for people who are going through the same thing.
Yeah,
She wants,
excellent. Anna, anything you want to add to that?
No.
No? Yeah, that's exactly right. She wants to be a role model, but she also says that she had something to prove to herself, symbolically, kind of getting over this whole incident. It was very powerful for her to do something that she had never thought she would do before. Very cool. So she was not a runner. She had never really run in a race before, and then look at her now. She's running a marathon. Pretty cool. All right, Anna, could you read the next one, please?
How did she find out she was offered a baby, or a
Bib?
spot, bib, or a spot in the 2015 Boston Marathon?
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I don't know. My gosh.
That's okay.
I she said she thought she was not capable of it. I don't know. Sorry.
That's okay. Ming, can you help Anna out here?
the last question.
No. How did she find out she was offered a bib? How did she find out she would be allowed to run?
Mm, I didn't get this far either.
Okay, that's okay. Let's listen again to that specific point and see if we can find it.
Yeah, we could friends.
We're both running Boston this year. So it's just amazing. Last year was my first year. It's only grown in proportion. It doesn't get less because 2 years later it's actually growing and getting better.
I've never run. I was always on the sidelines having a cocktail and hanging out with my friends, and I would always joke it's something I would never ever do. And last year we were offered bibs, and I was still going through surgeries, so I couldn't have. And I thought, well, it's not for me anyway. And then at the end of 2014, we got an email saying that we were going to be offered bibs again, and I was worried about my leg. And
All right, did you guys catch that?
She was worried about her leg.
Good. She was worried, but how did she find out she was offered a bib? Did somebody call her and tell her, or
No,
what happened?
they sent an email.
Good. Yeah, she got an email. So she got an email the first year in 2013 saying, come run in 2014, and she couldn't, right? Because she had all those surgeries. And then she says that she got an email in 2014 to invite her to come run in the 2015 marathon through an email. And that's when she decided she was going to do it. Yeah, so she actually found out through an email the year before. Awesome. All right, let's see. Ming, the last one. Could you please read the question?
How does she feel?
Yeah, how does she feel?
I think from the sound of her voice, she's feeling fine. She doesn't sound like a person who just who's traumatized by the event.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. She is so positive. If that had happened to me, I don't know how I would feel. I think I would be really, really sad, and I don't know if I would be able to run because I would be scared. But she has shown so much strength, and she feels so positive and so lucky to be alive, right? So she ran that marathon with a lot of courage. So pretty cool story. Anything you guys want to add to that? No? All right. All right, let's keep moving on. So what did you guys, let's put on the next slide. Oh, okay, some more comprehension questions. Anna, could you please read the first one?
She was very calm in the tent. True.
Do you agree, Ming?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit. So she doesn't remember it, but Walter says she was one of the calmest ones in the hospital tent. Cool. All right, Ming, next one.
She has run a lot of marathons. No. False.
Good. Yeah, exactly. She says she never thought she would do it before. She was always the one drinking a cocktail, right? And said, I would never do that. And then look at her now. She's running a marathon. Pretty cool. All right, Anna.
She went through over half a dozen surgeries. True.
Yeah, we talked about this one a little bit. That's exactly the word she says, over a half dozen. So I can't even imagine going through one or two, and she's been through more than 6. So pretty crazy. Excellent. All right, Ming, the next one.
She was offered a bid to run in the next Boston Marathon. True.
Good. Anna, do you agree or disagree?
I'm not sure. I think it's true.
Yeah, exactly. True. She was offered one through email. Pretty cool. All right, next one, Anna.
It was not important to her symbolically. False.
Yeah, good. It was super important to her symbolically, right? She had to kind of overcome everything she's been through to run this race. So really, really a story of strength. All right, good job, you guys. What about the last one, Ming?
Walter is not running in the marathon this year.
We can change this. Yeah, good. We can change this to past tense, actually, since it's already happened. But I planned this class before it happened. And yeah, you're exactly right. False. He ran in the 2015 marathon with Michelle, and they both finished. So pretty cool. All right, you guys got those all right, 100%. Awesome job. We just have a couple more minutes left. So I have a little writing prompt for you. Anna, could you please read the prompt?
Okay. Writing prompt. Have you ever conquered something or achieved a difficult goal? Please write from 5 to 10 sentences describing this. Should I carry on?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead, continue.
What happened? How did you feel? Why was this particularly difficult?
Excellent. So this is very short, 5 to 10 sentences. If you don't have something, you can make it up too. That's totally fine. Works of fiction are encouraged if you don't want to share something personal. So just take the next 2 to 3 minutes to kind of think of your story. And if you only want to speak, that's totally fine too. If you want to write, even better, because then I can correct your grammar and your punctuation. Okay? So either way, take the next 2 to 3 minutes, and then we'll come back as a group and share. Does that sound good?
Okay.
Any questions? All right, cool. If you have any questions, just go ahead and let me know, and I'd be happy to answer them. All right, one more minute to finish up. All right, guys. Anna, I see you've written a lot. Ming, do you have something prepared?
Almost done.
Okay, 10 more seconds, and then we gotta come back as a group.
I finished it.
Awesome. All right. Ming, that's okay. Stop where you are, and you can just share what you have. Who would like to go first?
Anna, please.
Okay, Anna, why don't you read what you have about a time that you have conquered something or achieved a difficult goal?
Okay. Um, I conquered my job and I also have been conquering my English day by day. I know it's nothing compared to overcome a difficult situation like that woman. She's kind of a hero. But my conquests are important to me because I worked hard to get my job. When I took the test for the first time, I I was I'm not sorry. I was so no when I was so anxious. I would teacher. I'm lost. Hold on. I was so anxious that I messed it up. The worst is that I knew all answers. Um, the problem was that when I had to pass the answers from the test to a card, I started from the second page instead. I remember crying a river. A woman there who was responsible for overseeing the students offered me a glass of water, but I said I don't want a water. I want another card. Okay. Then I took a test and I got the second place. I just studied 3 months, and there are several people who have been trying for years to become a civil servant. About my English, it's difficult, but I've been working a lot and improving it step by step.
Excellent. Very good. So that you described not only your job, but also with English. So fantastic. And great job on your achievements. And yes, you've definitely conquered, applying your English and practicing it every day. You've been coming to almost all my classes, and you've been improving and improving and improving. So very, very awesome. And it sounds like that you've also been doing really well in your job. So congrats on that as well. Yeah, so this is a really great writing sample. You should definitely hold on to this for the future if you're ever asked to write an essay or something about conquering your goals, because I think this is a really, really great start. Can I give you some feedback on some of the errors?
Sure.
Okay.
I will correct.
Cool. So just the ones that I wrote in the chat right here, very little ones. Instead of using conquers as a noun, we usually use that as a verb. So you can just say achievements.
All right.
Okay, so but my achievements are important to me instead of but my conquers are important to me. Excellent. And then I have just these other 2 or 3 right here, as you can see in the chat. Instead of compared to overcome, we want to use the continuous here, compared to overcoming. Okay? Or, sorry, yes, we want to use an ing word. In this case, it's a gerund. So compared to overcoming. And we learned about that last class, so you know all about that.
Sorry.
Awesome.
Thank you.
No, good. And then you can read the other 2. They're very minor, but all the answers instead of all answers. And I got second place instead of the second place. Just we use second place as a general notion instead of a specific the second place.
Okay, thank you.
Sound good?
Yes.
Awesome.
You know,
Awesome.
I have a problem with articles. Sometimes I put articles, and sometimes I omit when I shouldn't.
Yeah, they're really difficult for non-native speakers, because native speakers, they just speak. They don't even know where they go. They just do what sounds right. So it's actually something very hard to teach, because a lot of people, even native English speakers, don't really know when to use them and when not to use them. So maybe I'll teach a class on that next week. But yeah, you did awesome. All right, Ming, we're over time, but if you could quickly share, I would love to hear your passage.
Oh, it's in a group chat right underneath.
Okay, could you please share it with us?
I have to read.
Yes, please.
When I started learning English a few years ago, I thought I'd never become fluent. The English language is complicated, and the grammar rules are confusing. When I read a news article, I couldn't understand half of what I read. However, through hard work and dedication, I've become much more comfortable with the English language.
Awesome. Yeah, great job, great sentences. Again, another example of you guys have come a long way with your English, and you guys are fluent. You guys are able to communicate and understand what I'm saying, and listen to this very fast article online and understand all of it without having the words in front of you. So congrats, you guys. Excellent accomplishments to be proud of. Just one thing, Ming, you corrected it in your reading, but not your writing. It says old instead of few years ago, but I'm sure you know that. And then, but that's okay. And then the last one, let's see. Oh, you wrote it correctly, but read it differently, because read and read are pronounced differently, but are spelled the same. So you want to keep it in the past tense if you're continuing in the past tense. So you say, when I read a news article, I could not understand half. You want to say, when I read a news article in the past, I couldn't understand in the past.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. You guys did so awesome. Wow. Awesome job writing, reading, pronunciation, grammar, listening. It was all in this class, and you guys did fabulous. Thank you so much for joining.